Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. Today, we have a very special first look and demo of the all-new iZotope Ozone 11 Advanced. That's right, I said 11. I can't believe we are on 11. We started beta testing this right after Ozone 10 came out. The team at iZotope and Native Instruments have been really hard at work on this. We got some cool new features, redesigned Master Assistant, stem focus, Transient Sustain mode, all new clarity module. Lots of stuff in here that I want to show you. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so Ozone 11, we're greeted with a new nice little splash screen on the Master Assistant. Master Assistant has had a huge overhaul in terms of aesthetics, also the AI technology that's measuring everything in the mix. Let's just switch over to that view, and you're going to see that this is all redesigned, this dashboard sort of setup where we can control things like the tonal balance, our overall loudness. We also have a vocal balance control. Ozone 11 now intelligently will detect where your vocal is, and it can set that vocal balance accordingly. We also have some extras here in terms of dynamics matching, width matching, clarity amount, which controls the new clarity module. We're going to take a really close look at that. And then we also have our stabilizer control. So let's go ahead and just hit play and see what Ozone 11 comes up with for our assistant-based master.
Reach in within, we overcome sin. Can't do it alone, I find you on the other end. Feel I've been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free. Yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Yeah, you best stand for something. When it comes crashing down, who you counting on now? No, I don't have a Grammy to show for all this, but I gain peace of mind to fix my intent. What a waste if I try to sound like someone else. I don't need your approval, I can give it to myself. Knowing what I came here to do, God gave me the truth, so I know I gotta pass it to the youth even.
All right, so this is just a quick hip hop track that I put together. You're gonna notice a couple things here with Master Assistant. It did put our target as folk, which, does that sound like a folk song to you? It doesn't to me either, but sometimes, you know, Ozone 11 will select kind of the wrong target. Not to worry, we can easily just switch this over to hip hop and rap, or if you had an EDM track, just do that and it's not going to, you know, wreck whatever's going on. It'll just make some adjustments there. You're also going to notice in the vocal balance that I have this purple check mark, and that just says that Ozone 11 believes that I have set my vocal balance accordingly. But if that is not set properly, it will adjust that and give you a better vocal to instrumental balance. I know a lot of you out there struggle with that, and so that's a nice new feature to have that, and you can adjust accordingly. I'm going to adjust our tonal balance. I know I switched the genre. Let's just hear what that sounds like now with the switch.
Reach in within, we overcome sin. Can't do it alone, I find you on the other end. Feel I've been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free.
So that sounds pretty good. It's a little bit bright to me, so I'm going to adjust the EQ. I may make a little bit of adjustment on the loudness, maybe pushing that maximizer a little bit too hard for my taste. And then we'll adjust some of these other things over here.
Reach in within, we overcome sin. Can't do it alone, I find you on the other end. Feel I've been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free. Yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Yeah, you best stand for something. When it comes crashing down, who you counting on now? No, I don't have a Grammy to show for all this, but I gain peace of mind to fix my intent. What a waste if I try to sound like someone else. I don't need your approval, I can give it to myself. Knowing what I came here to do, God gave me the truth, so I know I gotta pass it to the youth. Even these days, been stuck standing in the rain, pushing through the pain in my lane.
So it sounds pretty good to me now. That is pretty close to a finished master sound. All we did was touch some of these controls here from the new Master Assistant dashboard, these quick controls. Let's jump into the new module in Ozone 11, which is the clarity module. Now, what the clarity module is it is a spectral processing tool, and it's designed to flatten the spectral information across 250 bands. So a lot of detail in terms of this spectral balancing. but it's designed to give you more impact, gives you more perceived loudness, and it gives you more clarity in terms of your overall mix. Kind of takes the mask off of a dull and muddy mix. So I'm going to show you how this works. If we just start at 0, let's just play this back.
No, I don't have a Grammy to show for all this, but I gain peace of mind to fix my intent. What a waste if I try to sound like someone else. I don't need your approval, I can give it to myself. Knowing what I came here to do, God gave me the truth, so I know I gotta pass it to the youth. Even these days, been stuck standing in the rain, pushing through the pain in my lane, try to stay sane.
So what this is doing is, as we increase it, the clarity module is just kind of flattening that spectrum closer to what would be pink noise, right? So it's just giving us that pleasant balance. Now, if you utilize the tilt control, we can go, kind of darker with the spectral target, or if we raise it, it can be more of a brighter target. So let's go over here and hear what that's like.
God first and then want the worst for you. Just put up distractions, keeping you from taking action, but the passion everlasting. Reaching within, we overcome sin. Can't do it alone, I find you on the other end. Feeling been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free, yeah, you can't tell me nothing.
So let's monitor with the delta control here.
No, I don't have a Grammy to show for all this, but I gain peace of mind to fix my intent. What a waste if I try to else. I don't need your approval, I can give it to myself. Knowing what I came here to do, God gave me the truth, so I know I gotta pass it to the youth. Even these days, been stuck standing in the rain, pushing through the pain in my lane, try to stay sane. Faded in the brain, feelings that I maintain. Looking back in the past with the fear so clear, it's obvious that they can copy this, so I get back to my business, no hobbyists. I'm not playing with you if you can't vibe with this. If you don't like the truth, you could try to diss, or you can focus on your own path.
This is a module that I'm using in my mastering on a number of different styles and genres now. This might be my new favorite method in terms of just remedying a dull mix and doing it very quickly and easily. And you don't get harshness with this. I mean, even when you push it, it's really hard to make this sound bad. So it's just a kind of a foolproof module to quickly get the excitement and the impact and just the professional polish out of your mix. Next up, big new feature in Ozone 11, which is stem focus mode. Now, what I've done is just opened up a new instance of Ozone 11, and for the sake of example, I just printed the instrumental mix without the vocal so that we can just take a listen to that. You can hear things more closely. You can switch the Ozone modules to be processing and focused on, obviously, the full mix or, your mastering mode, typical mastering mode. You can select vocals, you can select drums, or you can select bass. So let's say in this case, we wanted to focus any of the processing on our bass line. I had a little bit of trouble with this bass line, just kind of getting it to sound right. So let's make some adjustments here. Let's say that we wanted to just excite just the bass line, and we're gonna excite it, somewhere between, let's say like 100 and 200. With the AI technology in stem focus, we're able to just focus that processing on the bass line. So let's say we wanted to go back to our full mix and we wanted to make some adjustments to just the vocal here. I'm going to select vocal and let me play back that mix.
Feeling been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free,
So vocals sound a little dull. Maybe I want to just use the clarity module here, and I can just make sure we're in vocal mode. I'm going to just bring this up on the clarity module.
Down, who you counting on now? I'm about to drop up in the verse and curse and say nothing that could really matter, just a pitter patter on the window panel. I'm the kid who tries to escape with the vape. Mom and dad downstairs screaming, get up out my face. No role models, try to find purpose in a whiskey bottle in the pill bliss, so I don't feel this. Gotta get numb just to get through a day. Gotta think twice about every word that I say out my mouth.
You could do the same thing with, say, your imager. So let's go over here and let's say we wanted to narrow that vocal. Maybe I just thought that the panning in the hook was a little bit too wide.
Feeling been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free, yeah, you can't tell
So surprising how we can maintain the width of the rest of our mix, but just focus that on the vocals. We can also select drums. So maybe we wanted to dynamically control that snare drum. That snare drum is poking out a little bit. So let's go over here and see if we could do that with it in drum stem focus mode.
Can't tell me nothing, yeah, you best stand for something. When it comes crashing down, who you counting on now? No, I don't have a Grammy to show for all this, but I gain peace of mind to fix my intent. What a waste if I try to sound like someone else. I don't need your approval, I can give it to myself. Knowing what I came here to do, God gave me the truth, so I know I gotta pass it to the youth. Faded in the brain, feelings that I maintain. Looking back in the past, what the fear's so clear. It's obvious that they can copy this, so I get back to my business, no hobbyist.
A little bit exaggerated there for the example, but you can see that we can fine tune and get our hands dirty in terms of these individual elements and utilize the processing in Ozone for all of these different modules for our individual stems. And you can get incredibly creative now, considering that we have the new Transient Sustain mode for all these modules too. So just think about being able to do this on your drums, focusing that in your mix, and have just unprecedented power and access to different controls and sonic parameters for controlling a master without your stems. Yeah, another new feature here that is Transient Sustain mode, and this is available in a number of different modules. You'll see up here, if we just click this little drop down, normally we would have stereo, and if the module has mid-side, that would be there. But now we have Transient Sustain. So what that means, for instance, in our EQ, if I go down here and I select Transient Sustain, it will give us a transient mode as well as a sustain mode. Okay, so if I hit transient, this EQ is only controlling the transient or the attack, the impact of the signal, not the tail or the release of the signal. So it's a very different thing. Now, if you want to know what's happening, we also have a lot of new delta controls. So if you want to just monitor the difference between the signal and what this processing is doing. So let's go ahead and hit that. I'll move this over here.
No, I don't have a Grammy to show for all this, but I gain peace of mind to fix my intent. What a waste if I try to sound like someone else. I don't need your approval, I can give it to myself. Knowing what I came here to do, God gave me the truth, so I know I gotta pass it to the youth. Even these days, been stuck standing in the rain, pushing through the pain in my lane, try to stay.
So if I wanted to use a low shelf on that Transient Sustain to adjust the dynamics of that, we can do that separately. So really powerful stuff here. This might be one of the more useful applications for Transient Sustain for me is here in the imager, because we can control the stereo width of the transients. I like the idea of keeping our transients pretty monocentric and narrow, just so that we get the most impact. But then on the sustain, we can widen that stuff quite a bit.
I can give it to myself. God gave me the truth. Pass it to the youth. Standing in the rain. In my lane, trying to stay sane. Faded in the brain, feelings that I maintain. The fear's so clear. They can copy this, so I can no hobbyist. I'm not playing with you. You can try to diss, so you can focus on your own path. God's way brought me change, so I never need to pay back. Feeling been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from everything that mattered to me. It's time to set my soul free, yeah. Yeah, you can't tell me nothing, yeah, you best stand for something.
A lot of very creative ways to use Transient Sustain. Again, this is just to get your wheels turning, but I have been using it here in the imager with some nice results. It gives you an extra layer of control over your stereo field in your mastering. Last but certainly not least, one of my favorite new features in Ozone 11 Advanced is the upward compress mode, or low level compression. So rather than controlling our dynamics in the way a traditional compressor would, just reducing peaks or the loudest points, this is actually bringing up the quiet points. And this is very, very effective in mastering, because we can increase perceived loudness and we can just bring up those elements that might be getting hidden down there low in our mix. If you see, I'll just turn the upward compress on. It'll just bring up that blue line. And once we play it back now, we can actually see what the upward compression is doing.
God first and then want the worst for you. Just put up distractions, keeping you from taking action, but the passion everlasting. Reaching within, we overcome sin. Can't do it alone, I find you on the other end. Feel I've been gone for a minute, about time I hop back in it. They try to pull my energy from every.
So that might sound a little more subtle on this mix just because there's not as much of a dynamic range in a track like this. But if you have a really dynamic track with some very quiet elements in there, it's just going to give you more consistency across your entire mix and make sure that things aren't getting lost. Again, also for perceived loudness, this is a very powerful tool and something that I've been hoping that they would add to Ozone for a while now. All right, y'all, so that's our first look demo at the all new Ozone 11 Advanced. We have the new clarity module. We have stem focus mode, powerful way to focus in on the different elements of your mix, even if you don't have the stems for mastering. Powerful stuff there. Completely redesigned Master Assistant with some very handy controls right here from the front dashboard. We've also got Transient Sustain mode, so you have a lot of creative options in terms of all the different modules that is tied into. You know, a lot of the modules also look a lot better. There's some big time aesthetic changes. They have improved pretty much every module in here. By the time you're seeing this, Ozone 11 Advanced will be available. I'm sure there'll be a demo as well, and I'll put a link to that if you want to check it out further. Check it out on your own masters, see what it does. I know a lot of you are maybe a little bit skeptical about using AI tools, considering the controls that they give you and just the access that you have to all the modules themselves. I mean, you can go as deep as you want with this, but it's really helpful to quickly get this suggestion and already have a really nice starting point, even if this isn't the way that you go for your final master. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you can dig in to each of these and make a ton of different edits. We've got a lot of tools here. So whether you are a pro mastering engineer or you're just someone who doesn't have much knowledge of mastering at all, but you want to be able to tweak a couple things here and there, you know, a lot of different options for everybody out there. So I'm excited to hear what you do with this. Let me know what you all think in the comments. If you learn anything in the video, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing. Hit that notification bell for more. We'll talk to you soon.